2 races, 2 champions. 1 question: who was more dominant? In this video, we compare the performances of Thompson-Herah and Shericka Jackson, breaking down the speed, strategy, and execution behind their incredible victories.
In 4, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, silver in Tokyo to go with the 2 gold medals from Beijing and London. 34 years old, 10.63 she ran earlier this year. Sha'Carri Richardson, 21 years old, the new kid on the block, all hair and flair. Wasn't in Tokyo. A 1-month suspension for a recreational drug keeping her out of the games, but she's been very active both on the track and on social media. She has a point to prove here in 5. Next to her, the double Olympic champion, Elaine Thompson-Herah, retained her 100 and 200 meter titles, 10.61, the second fastest in history. Marie-Josée Tarlou, yet again 4th, the dreaded 4th place in Tokyo, where she finished in Rio in both the 100 and 200. She goes in lane 7. Mujinga Kambundji had a fine Olympics in Tokyo, made the final in both the 1 and the 200. Ran 10.95 in the heats. And in lane 9, the youngster from Jamaica, 19 years old, Brianna Williams, double world junior champion at just 16 years old, the future, you feel, of Jamaican sprinting. So Daniels in 1, Oliver 2, Jackson, the bronze medalist from Tokyo, from Jamaica, in 3, Fraser-Pryce, Jamaica, in 4, Richardson, USA, goes in 5, the blonde hair, Thompson-Herah in 6, Jamaica, the defending champion from Tokyo, Tarlou 7, Kambundji 8, Williams in lane 9, left of picture. Women's 100 meters.
Stand up.
Starter is not ready. And Tim, just a thought, the quality that has been put together just 2 weeks after the Olympic Games is real. It's the Olympic final perhaps that we could have had, with all due respect to Dina Asher-Smith, who's not here in the 100, but with the inclusion of Richardson, this is perhaps Olympic final quality.
Well, exactly right, and there is real significance too, of course, with Sha'Carri Richardson having been denied that opportunity to compete on the Olympic stage. All the more determined here. She was the sensation of the first half of the summer in the sprints, Chris, and I think a lot of people were a little disappointed when she travelled across the UK early summer and in the cold and wind and rain of Gateshead in the northeast of England was well beaten by Dina Asher-Smith. But this is more like home turf for Richardson in lane 5.
So a reminder, Fraser-Pryce in 4, Richardson in 5, Thompson-Herah, the double Olympic champion, in lane 6. Women's 100 meters. Away first time, this time, and Thompson-Herah into her running, 4th from left. Thompson-Herah also going very well. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Richardson's nowhere. What a performance there. It's the fastest in the world this year. 10.54 the winning time. Thompson-Herah continues her form from Tokyo. What a statement. Understated celebration. Goodness me. It's the 2nd fastest time in history. Only Flojo has gone quicker, and she's beaten her own time from Tokyo, 10.61, and now she's just seeing it. A scarcely believable 10.54, and I'm afraid Sha'Carri Richardson left in the blocks. Fraser-Pryce 10.73 in 2nd, Jackson 10.76. It's the podium from Tokyo once again, and once again it's Thompson-Herah who is quite simply a class apart.
And a Jamaican 1-2-3, Chris, and the challenge of Sha'Carri Richardson evaporated well before halfway in this one. But look at Thompson-Herah responding to that fast start from Fraser-Pryce, who probably gave her the impetus to push through that second half and win by 2 meters and going away. And for many people, Chris, that will be considered the unofficial world record. The whole industry, the whole sport knows there are huge question marks around that world record of Flojo from the 1988 trials, or was the 84 trials, 10.49. Everybody knows that that is a time that is squinted at by the statisticians of the sport, but Thompson-Herah is the real deal. Boy, how fast was she going through that second half to pull away from an athlete of the caliber of Fraser-Pryce, who, let's not forget, ran 10.63 back in early June.
Well, Ashanti Moore has not yet.
Champs winner in the 100, converted from multi-events, high speed.
Sha'Carri Wallace represents MVP in lane 2.
One of 3 ladies from MVP in this final. She ran in lane 8 in the heats, lane 8 in the semis, and is now in lane 2 in the finals. 11:39 to get here.
Elaine Thompson-Herah in 3.
Double Olympic champion, double Commonwealth champion, 10.54 in 2001. A fabulous sprinter. Is she in top shape? Warm welcome for her. Fitting.
Natasha Morrison in 4.
Has a spectacular personal best of 10.87 set in 2021. Ran 11 seconds flat in her heats. Ran 11.14 to win her semis over Elaine Thompson-Herah, Natasha Morrison.
The second MVP athlete. Here's the third one in lane 5, Shericka Jackson.
World champion at 200 meters. Bronze in the 100 in 2021. Silver last year in Eugene. Shericka Jackson at 10.
Sasha Lee Forbes now has a nice, pretty sub-11 time. She ran 10.98 on the 21st of May this year. She represents Sprint Tech. She's the 3rd fastest Jamaican this year.
And representing Nike, Alana Reid in lane 7.
New pro, champs record holder, now at 10.92. Ran 11.17 in Japan last week. Alana Reid, formerly of Heidel, now professional.
Representing Titans Track Club. This is Brianna Williams. She runs on the outside in lane 8.
Brianna Williams used to train with Atta Bolan. She's now come home to Jamaica, trains with Michael Freighter and Greg Little. 10.94 her PB. She has run 11.04 twice this year, close to her best again. Viewers, you need to know this time. 10.71 is the fastest time run in the world so far this year.
Ashanti Moore, Adidas lane 1. Sha'Carri Wallace, MVP lane 2. Elaine Thompson-Herah, New Era lane 3. Natasha Morrison, MVP lane 4. Shericka Jackson, MVP lane 5. Sasha Lee Forbes, Sprint Tech Track Club lane 6. Alana Reid, Nike lane 7. And Brianna Williams, Titans Track Club in lane 8. That is Mrs. Thompson-Herah on your screen.
The entire National Stadium is standing.
Tension has gripped the National Stadium. Women's 100-meter final. What are we about to see? We'll know in a matter of just over 10 seconds after the race gets underway. Sterling lineup. And the slide push in the set position. Off they go. Very, very good start by Shericka Jackson. Natasha Morrison is on the premises. Thompson-Herah is knocking on the door as well. Step forward, Shericka Jackson imperiously. And she steps away in bright national champion. Big performance on the big occasion. We wait for the official time.
10.65!
10.65! Wow, what a performance! New world leading, new personal best. A stunning, superlative, and scorching display of sprinting. That was magical. Goodness gracious me. Sasha Lee Forbes, second in 10.96. New personal best. Natasha Morrison finishes 3rd. What a race. What a moment.
It's wind legal, viewers. You want to know. Positive 1.0 seconds. Shericka Jackson skyrockets up in the world all-time list. Has now gone into the 10.6 region. Amazing as she hugs her mother there after the race. Shericka Jackson. Plenty drama behind that, Hubert Lawrence. Sasha Lee Forbes says, I'm going to run the 100 meters at the World Championships. That is, before we started, Spencer, the last word to the viewers. Remember, 10.71. That was the fastest time in the world. Natasha Morrison off well, but Shericka Jackson already leading as she comes out of her drive phase, stepping, pulling away every single step of the way she goes, and she wins it. We see Natasha Morrison in the pink shoes. She also gets up there to get on the team. At this stage, we're now watching the clock. Shericka Jackson, she knew she was going to deliver something special, running through the line, trying to lean, trying to maintain her momentum.
The two races tell a powerful story about the evolution of women's sprinting at the highest level, highlighting two different but equally dominant forces: Elaine Thompson-Herah at her absolute peak, and Shericka Jackson rising into complete control of the event. At the Eugene Diamond League, the women's 100 meters brought together an almost perfect lineup, an Olympic final outside the Olympics, with legends like Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the reigning Olympic champion Thompson-Herah, and the highly anticipated Sha'Carri Richardson. The race carried enormous expectations. From the gun, Thompson-Herah executed one of the most complete sprint races ever seen. Her start was sharp, but it was her transition and top-end speed that separated her. By the halfway mark, she had already begun to pull away from Fraser-Pryce, a sign of something extraordinary unfolding. She crossed the line in 10.54 seconds, one of the fastest times in history, second only to Florence Griffith-Joyner's controversial 10.49. This wasn't just a win, it was dominance against the strongest possible field. Fraser-Pryce and Jackson completed a Jamaican sweep, replicating the Olympic podium, but they were clearly behind a sprinter operating on another level. Richardson, despite the hype and narrative surrounding her return, was never a factor, emphasizing the brutal reality of elite sprinting. Talent alone is not enough without execution. In contrast, the Jamaican National Championships presented a different kind of race, less about global rivalry and more about internal supremacy. Here, Shericka Jackson took center stage. While Thompson-Herah was still present, the dynamic had shifted. Jackson, already a world champion over 200 meters, demonstrated that she had now mastered the 100 meters as well. From the blocks, Jackson was flawless. Her drive phase was aggressive and controlled, immediately putting pressure on rivals like Natasha Morrison and Thompson-Herah. But unlike the Eugene race, where the winner surged in the second half, Jackson established control early and never relinquished it. Step by step, she extended her lead, showcasing efficiency rather than raw explosiveness. Her winning time of 10.65 seconds was not just a personal best, but also the fastest in the world that season. More importantly, it confirmed a shift in power. While Thompson-Herah's 10.54 represented peak performance in a single race, Jackson's run symbolized consistency, progression, and timing, peaking exactly when it mattered most. The contrast between these two performances is striking. Thompson-Herah's race was about historical greatness, an athlete pushing the limits of human speed against the deepest field imaginable. Jackson's race, on the other hand, was about control and evolution, an athlete refining her craft to become the most reliable and complete sprinter of her generation. Another key difference lies in race execution. Thompson-Herah built her victory on a devastating second phase, overwhelming even the fastest starters. Jackson, however, relied on a perfect combination of start, drive, and maintenance, leaving no window for her competitors to respond. In many ways, these races represent two models of sprint dominance: explosive superiority versus technical mastery. Together, these performances also highlight the extraordinary depth of Jamaican sprinting. In Eugene, Jamaica swept the podium against the world. In Kingston, the internal competition was so strong that even Olympic champions were challenged. Athletes like Fraser-Pryce, Morrison, and emerging talents such as Brianna Williams and Alana Reid further underline that this dominance is not temporary. It is structural. Ultimately, these two races are not just isolated moments, but chapters in a larger narrative. Thompson-Herah's 10.54 stands as one of the greatest sprint performances ever recorded, a benchmark of pure speed. Jackson's 10.65, meanwhile, signals the arrival of a new phase, where dominance is defined not only by how fast you can run, but by how consistently you can win. And when viewed together, they reveal a simple truth. Women's sprinting is not just evolving, it is accelerating into a new golden era, led by athletes who continue to redefine what is possible.